how's things?
Steady away. Season's ended now, so the goals gone up in all the divisions. Who's in the league? Who's in the Premier League? So all that's out of the way. We've just got to get the European Champions League out of the way, and then we're ready again for next season.
Yeah,
and let's hope that we get fans back into the stadiums, because football is not football without the fans. Yes, great players excite the game, but the fans excite the players, and if we don't get these back into the stadiums, I think we're going to lose a lot of people with it, or from it.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't see that we can't have fans in the stadiums. We've always maintained this. We don't really know what's gone on, or going to go on. We know the figures, we know what the media's narrative is, but you're absolutely right. Whatever is going on, we need to live with. We need to get back to some type of normality. We need to get fans back in football grounds.
People are waking up now, Gabbie. I was in. I had to do a job over in Brid. I had to do a job for my brother yesterday, and then I thought, well, I'll kill two birds with one stone. Nip over to Grimsby Cleanthorpes and take Jock out for some tea. Mm-hmm. Me and Tom. I get into Brid. It's absolutely packed. There's people walking around. No masks. There's people with masks, but there's absolutely hundreds of them walking around without no masks on. Same in Cleanthorpes. Yeah. We know there's been some kind of virus. Yeah. None of us know what the extent of the virus is.
100%.
What is its meaning? But we know there's been a lot of hype of keeping us locked down.
Yep.
And the truth is coming out. The truth will come out. And let's hope that if the people have been corrupt, that they get the just rewards, because what they've done to working class people and small businesses is nothing short of treason, really. Because what they've done, it's incredible what these people. There's been no mention of people committing suicide. There's no mention of how much these businesses, how many businesses have gone out of business altogether and gone bankrupt. It's been a shambles, and all they've wanted to give us is the deaths of coronavirus, and we'll get to the bottom of that eventually.
Yeah, and I'm sure the truth will come out sometime, but knowing the way that governments do work and the way that they cover things up, I'm not convinced that the truth will ever come out. I'm not convinced that Rangers are ever going to come out in this game, neither. I don't know if you buy your TV, but the 3-1 down at Leverkusen, they haven't laid a glove on them. And you had that boy that played for one of your former teams, Weir, and he was saying, well, they're keeping the shape, they're trying to keep in the game. I'm telling you, if they're very, very lucky to be still in the game the way they've played. They've been absolutely awful, Rangers.
Listen, there's nobody more happier for Frank Lampard and for Steven Gerrard to go and be a Guardiola. Not a Guardiola, they did themselves.
Yeah.
Football like a Clough, a Shankly, a Paisley, a Klopp. We haven't had any for years. What do listen, Gabbie? How do you think I feel about it? I had to train with it. They talk the same language.
Yep.
They give each other jobs. They keep getting the sack. They keep getting the jobs. Right? And I've heard that for you. They're keeping the shape.
No, exactly.
They're keeping the shape, and you're 3-1 down.
Yeah. There's
no intentions. I mean, Steven Gerrard, whoever, everybody goes on, just tacking mine and everything. And I won't pay for BBC. I don't even watch BBC. I don't watch Match It Day, nothing on BBC. I've done. And I'll tell you all now, I am not paying my BBC. Listen, and I'll pay £1 a week. I am not paying another BBC license. I've done with it, the BBC.
It's on BT.
So, well, same thing, isn't it?
Oh, 1-0. Great goal.
Uta.
Yeah, well, there's only one team that's going to score, and that's that. I don't think Rangers have had a shot. They've been absolutely pathetic, and if that's the best that they can do, don't bother travelling to Germany because you're an embarrassment.
Listen, Gabbie, what I said about football 40 years ago, the foreign coaches are doing now. I said it, Gabbie, I swear on my deathbed. I have put things on that Facebook from when I was playing.
Yeah.
I'll do it my way. I mean, there were a couple of things in it where they turned around and said, you know, I don't like one. That's a load of rubbish. But that's press adding their little bit to it.
Yep.
You know, I like 1 and 2 touch players, but you've got to have these players what can unlock a door.
Yeah.
And until you get these players into those teams, you know, you're never ever going to be successful. You're never going to win trophies. And if you're going to play defensive football, all you're hoping for is to stay up.
Yeah.
And not get relegated. What type of mentality is that to your team, to your players, to your club, to your fans? Tell me, what mentality is that?
Well, we've
been. You might have got your white handkerchief out.
Yeah.
It's all start waving it in the ground.
Yeah, we've been there in so many episodes of the Curran View. If you're a forward, with these tactics, you might as well just sit down or not bother going on the pitch, because you ain't going to see the ball. It's absolute. And I know people go, oh, well, it's Leverkusen and it's only Rangers. Well, like you've always said, improve your bloody players and try and score a goal. This is just pathetic. This is pathetic.
Go and coach them. He has done at Leeds United. I'm a Leeds fan. I'm sick of talking about Leeds United.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm not talking about Leeds United. I'm talking about Bielsa. He's coached the players. He went to Arsenal. He didn't sit back.
Yeah.
He didn't be organised. Well, he was organised, so I'll take that back. They all want to keep the shape, but they wanted to attack Arsenal.
Yeah.
And for half of the game, they absolutely battered Arsenal.
Oh, yeah.
And the only reason why, because they have got the better players. But you'll see a massive improvement. You'll see a massive improvement in Leeds. Anybody who think Leeds are going to struggle next year, forget it. You live in it because you all pee in the same pot.
Yep.
Stick up for each other because you all want your right jobs and to get pat on the back. Let me tell you something. You'll never be successful in football, and we all know there can only be one winner of each league. There can only one team win the FA Cup, League Cup, or Milk Cup, whatever you want to call it. And then that's it, then the Champions League, right? But you can put a show on. You can say, I'm not frightened to death. You can say, I'm not going to be bullied because it's pathetic. And I'm like you. You know, I'm not paying for BT because I want to do with that BBC. I will not pay. Finished. I have finished with the BBC until it gets central to everything. Not left, not right, but straight down the middle. And it's for everyone, where they're giving the right news out and everything else. So I will not pay for the BBC. I will not watch the match a day. And I don't give a damn what anybody else thinks. I run my life for me, but I'm always polite to other people.
Yep.
But I see my way of playing football. I'm not interested in long ball. I'm certainly not interested in sideways, backwards, slow football. I hate that worse than I hate the long ball.
Yep.
You know, I have a dream, and I go by that dream, and I stick by it. And if I fail, that's what I fail on at least trying to entertain, win a game, put a showing on for the fans, because it's a theatre. It's a theatre. That people come in to watch a good, entertaining game. Now, I don't want to see a team get beat 5-0 every week, no. But you can attack, you can still play attacking football without getting beat 5-0.
Absolutely.
And you can win games by attacking football. You can't win games defensively, and that's a proven fact, because it's the same teams, season in, season out, in every league. Right, whether it's the Championship 1, 2, 3, or Championship 1 and 2, Championship and the Premier League, it's the same teams what struggle season in, season out, because it's defensive, negative football. And I'm surprised and disappointed in Steven Gerrard. I don't give a damn what he's won. I don't give a damn who he's playing for. I want to see football and football managers playing football and not being afraid of the opposition.
Absolutely, hey, TC. Is that phone to your ear? You sound a little bit distant tonight, mate. You sound a little bit muffled, or are you getting a little bit excited early doors?
I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's got everything in life we get ripped off with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything. I bought a new phone. I'm not buying a new phone. You get another phone because the USB port broke.
Yeah.
Right. It was £100 to. Or £100 or just over £100 to get it fixed. So I might as well get another one. Pay the 50 or 60 quid you owe on it, because you have that 2 years, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So there were about a couple of months, whatever it was they were in it, I had to pay. So it cost me 60 quid. So I might as well, instead of buying that, I might as well get a new phone. right? I've had this about 6 months. They're back to normal.
Yeah.
It's just a rip-off, isn't it? It's for you to keep spending your money on technology, and technology improves every year. We know it improves every year, but it doesn't make your phone slow down like it does. I speak sometimes to Jockey, they can't. He says, I can't hear that.
Yeah.
So it's incredible with these phones. Everything's a rip-off. Football's a rip-off. Everything's a rip-off.
It certainly is, TC. But what have you sourced for us this week in your magic moment slot?
Well, my magic moment this week, and you'll not like it, and a lot of other people won't like it, but it's the goal, Fulham's first goal the other night.
Yeah.
And it's a bad goal from Brentford's point of view, but for him, because when you think about it, if you really think about what he did, right, he's put his hand up, right, to put it in for the centre forward, the centre half. I'm going to put an eyeball in for the opposition, and I know what he's done. I know what the goalkeeper's doing. He's anticipating getting there so he can come and catch it.
Yeah, set himself in
right. And it's bad from his point of view. That I'll agree with everybody on. But do not take away the kid's thought. He has tricked the goalkeeper. He has tricked the goalkeeper. And the goalkeepers completely fell for it. Now, I'm not saying it's spectacular because it's a bad goal in one sense, but it's a fantastic vision from him because he's outwitted the goalkeeper. And it's a goal, what we'll all talk about for a long time. But majority will talk about that the goalkeeper should not have, and I agree with that. But the thing for me is he's outwitted the goalkeeper, and he's got the goalkeeper thinking and not thought about his defensive duty at the near post, and what he's done, he's got caught on it. And there's been some fantastic goals I've seen this last couple of weeks, but at the end of the day, this for me is vision of the player understanding the game, and he's tricked the goalkeeper. And I think it's a fantastic goal, but in one sense it's a bad goal, but it's a goal what's probably earned Fulham 100 million, 140 million, 150 million. What a great thing for his football club.
Absolutely, and you couldn't make it up there.
You can't.
A left back scores a brace and takes Fulham up there, where Fulham have not been particularly free scoring this season. Brentford have, and a left back, and then you could argue that two of the best chances that fell to Brentford fell to their right back. So Taylor the fullbacks.
Yeah, exactly. But I think Fulham had a couple of great chances. But let me put this to you: that goal. I'm not being funny.
Yeah.
Right? I know it's an hypothetical question, and I won't answer hypothetical questions. I won't.
Yeah.
But when you look at that, if Messi had done that, and if Ronaldo had done that, well, they would have said what I'm saying to you now.
Yeah.
What great vision by Messi and them.
I tell you what, it reminded me of in a totally different way, but quite similar in a certain manner, was Liverpool's goal against Barcelona when Alexander Arnold took that really quick corner
kick.
Yeah, he caught him on the back foot. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
that reminded me very much of that kind of goal. Caught him on the back foot. Absolutely spot on. Yeah.
Nobody talked about that. They all talked about the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I understand it. The goal itself, when you analyse it, it's brilliant from him. He's not even looked where he scored the goal.
Yeah.
He took a quick glance at it, right? And thinking, right, I'm gonna catch him out here. And that's what he's done. He's caught him out. He's caught everybody out with it. And nobody's gone, what a great goal. Because it is a great goal.
Yeah.
We know it's a bad goal, but it's a great goal because he's caught him out.
Yeah.
And like you said about Trent Allen, it's great vision. And it's kidology what they've done. And to outwit Barcelona, you never see that, do you?
Nah.
You never see it.
No.
And if Messi or Ronaldo would have done that, they would have screamed for weeks on end. Have you ever seen all like that? They're on a different planet. At the end of the day, it's great vision from the kid, and he deserves all the credit. And that's why I'll keep praising him, because it's great vision, and he's caught him off guard brilliantly.
While you've referenced Messi, I just posted onto our group, the Curran View group, the 50 greatest goals of Lionel Messi, and I tell you, I mean, people. Well, some people believe aliens are living amongst us, and I think they're absolutely right. And I think Lionel Messi is an alien. I mean, how the hell he scores some of them goals? You can only just look and go, well, he scores goals like we used to as kids on playgrounds, didn't we? Especially when we're playing against the younger kids.
Now, can you repeat what you just said?
Yeah, he scores goals that we used to score on the playground. I used to score loads like that.
But think about that, because I did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, and I'm not lying to anybody.
Yeah.
People will say, "Oh, let me tell you all, they don't like, a lot of managers don't like you dribbling.
Yeah,
they're never going to stop Messi dribbling.
No,
and he has got two advantages on from our day, right? The pictures, right, and there's no really dirty tackles. I mean, I put a clip on my wall yesterday of Liverpool and Leeds in the cup final when they kicked. Yeah. When they kicked each. So 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 40, he wouldn't have got away with that. I mean, the goal against the team in green, I think it was, when he got it similar to what Maradona did.
Getafe, yeah.
Yeah. Was it Getafe? Yeah,
Getafe,
when he beat about 5 or 6 people. Listen, I can watch that all day.
Absolutely.
And it's easy for us to say, obviously, because we can all say what a great player he is, but he is.
Yeah.
But you've just hit the nail on the head. We all used to do that. Not all, but plenty of people did that in the playground.
Yeah.
But even then, you still got people, your teachers would start screaming, pass the ball, because little Johnny in corner has not got a kick because he walks around on a football field or football play area, school playground with his head down, because somebody like me what wouldn't pass anyway, and you get other people what wouldn't pass because they want to beat everybody.
Yeah.
And nobody really stopped you. You did hear it, right? But we've got rid of our players, technical players, and we've not played them. We've given all sorts of names or whatever they want to say, but them players are the ones what's going to win the games. Because what anybody tells me, Messi and Ronaldo and Pele and all these players never ever chase back. Now George Best did, but none of them, Cruyff, none of them chased back and made tackles. None of them. All right, and when we try to get our players to do it, we're wanting Tony Curtis to do it, we're wanting Alan Hudson to do it, we wanting Stan Bowles to do it, we're wanting Frank Worthington to do it. Why? I'll tell you why, because it's about organisation, keeping shape, right, and not letting the opposition score.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what it's all about with English coaches, or majority of them.
And they wonder why we don't win anything. I did notice something.
I don't wonder why. I know.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
I'm the Lone Ranger.
But many.
I had even Tonto agree with them a lot.
But many people do wonder why, and like you, I absolutely know why we haven't won anything, because we've never played the right players and we've never had the right management. And I did see on social media today that Grealish this season has made more goal scoring opportunities than Lionel Messi. And there was another post about Jack, about his stats the other day that I put up on my wall, and somebody got back to how many tackles has he made? I'm like, I'd just give up with you. I'd give up with you.
I'm going to throw a couple into you. The thing is with Jack Grealish, you're always going to get the English want to play that defensive football, criticising Jack. That's never going to change.
No, absolutely.
Now, what about? I'm going to put this into, because I look at this and I've never said this kid was a bad player, because you need these types of players in your team to get the balls to Jack Grealish, unless you had an Iniesta, Messi, or a Brendan Giles, them type of players as your midfield for any team. And you got Ronaldinho, Messi, Ronaldo, and Pele, and then you could have Cruyff, Best, and then you got your Alberto Carlos's and all that. But all these great players, what don't give the ball away, what pass with accuracy. Now you can play them type of players in your team, right? But in your like your Liverpool's, They probably need a Henderson, right? Now I'm going to tell you, when Henderson went to Liverpool, he got slaughtered by lots of people, right? Lots of people. Liverpool, if you remember this, right? Because I'm just, for 2 days and I'm listening to them all talking, it's completely shit. Yeah. When I meet Cow when I'm listening to it, I said to Thomas, and Thomas will say to me, "Why do you listen to it?" I said, "Because at least what they're saying, I know what they've said, and I can write that down, and I can come back to it. Or if I get it on YouTube, I can play it." Liverpool tried to do a swap with Dempsey for Henderson. Did you know that?
For who? For Henderson?
Dempsey to Fulham.
Dempsey?
Did you know that? Did you know it?
Dempsey at Fulham.
You know, remember Dempsey at Fulham?
Oh, the American fella.
Yeah.
Was it?
They tried to swap him.
Okay, yeah.
Right, they did try to swap him because when he came there, he got a lot of abuse from fans and everybody else. Right, and I tell you why they got it, because he was £20 million, and he was £20 million player what were coming to take maybe Steven Gerrard's place.
Yeah.
Right, so all the shooters get shut up. Right, I mean that kid's not a bad player. I'm not saying he's a Messi or an Iniesta or anything like that, but he's a player you could play as an holding midfield player. And because I want to play, when I want to play an holding midfield player, it isn't an holding midfield player as a defensive midfield player. I don't want my centre halves whacking the ball up the field.
Yeah.
I want centre halves what's going to play it out to a midfield player, what can play it through, but they've got to play it with a tempo.
Yep.
I don't want it square. I don't want it backwards. I don't want it 60 yards. But occasionally, I want a 60-yard pass or a 30-yard pass. But that's what I know. When our forwards have got the advantage, not a disadvantage, right? So I'm listening to so they all changed the tune about Henderson, how well he's done, and Captain Marble. I tell you what, with the best in the world, I'm telling everybody after we've won, because in this country, I don't speak any other languages, you know. In fact, I don't speak perfect English, so I get that. But in this country, you hear them all turn around and say, after what a marvellous player. It's never before, is it?
No.
I mean, I'll go on and say, like I've said about that Roberts at Notts County. He's a player, if a championship will take the chance with him.
Yeah. Right?
And they will look and look and look and look, be too late, same as what happened to Vardy. You know, because Vardy got released. Yes, I know all about Vardy from Sheffield. I know all about, but I know about the person who released him, and he only released him because he was small, and he thought he was weak, and that's what they do in this country.
Yep.
That's what they do, and then they talk afterwards. Oh, we know he's going to be a good player. It's the biggest load of shit. I watch him and I listen to him, and then I know it falls back on him, because when I make a statement, I'm there to be shot at. I am there to be shot at. I tell everybody 30, 40 years ago about how to play football. And everything I have said, people are doing it. Not all the English people are doing it, but the foreign coaches have done it, and they've changed the way the system is in this country. And one or two of our coaches are changing, but it's the same old story. It's the same old story. We're good after it, but they never say it before it happens.
Absolutely spot on. And my magic moment was at Aubameyang's brace.
Brilliant.
I mean, the way he got in there for the penalty was quality. I'm a big fan of Aubameyang, and then that second goal was just incredible, sublime.
But I put this to you about Aubameyang. How come everybody's talking about him now?
I've watched him all season. I think he's a tremendous player. I mean, I didn't know much about him before when he was playing in Germany.
Let me tell you something. They're all talking about him now.
Yeah.
Aubameyang, right? When he was in Germany.
Yeah.
Because we watch German football.
Yeah, I didn't then. I do now.
Right? Yeah. We watch German football. Now, what a player this kid is. Because he's got pace, but on top of that, it's not just pace he's got, he can control the ball.
Yeah.
At Arsenal, he's in an Arctic team. They're playing him left, right, and centre. This could come in. He looks a different player, again, under this kid. And I've told you, you can have your Messis, you can have your Ronaldos, you can have who you want, the George Best. Unless you get the right manager of that football team, right, you're never going to win trophies, ever.
Spot on.
And he has turned Arsenal round. Is it right? No, it's not right. But you can see a massive difference.
Mm.
I tell everybody said to me, not everybody, because I'm telling them lie there. Lots of people write to me and said to me, who would you have at Sheffield Wednesday? I tell them, Arteta. This was 6 months ago. They're telling me he's no experience. Oh, hang on a bit. What do I want to experience for? They keep getting sacked. David Moyes, sacked at Man United, sacked at Sunderland, sacked at Real Sociedad, sacked at West Ham, then go back to West Ham. You know, they keep getting jobs.
Yeah.
All experience. What trophies are they? What trophy has he won?
Nothing.
What legacy is he going to leave behind
Nothing.
him? Well then, this is what makes me laugh with it.
What?
And I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
I mean, okay.
To hear them all talk, I'm wrong. Yeah, I'll keep laughing at them. They can laugh as much as they want at me.
David Moyes, if there was two things that I mean, now he's still managing, so I mean there might be other things in the future, but let's look at it now. What's the two things that you remember David Moyes for?
Two things?
Yeah.
Give it Manchester United job.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm.
And that's it. Because to listen to them all tell me how well he did at Everton. Well, listen. Keeping Everton in the Premier League.
Yeah.
One of the top 6 clubs in the country. What's won trophies after trophies.
Yeah.
Throughout its lifetime.
Yeah.
Never been out of the Premier League. Never been out of the old First Division. Did you know that?
Absolutely, Everton. Yeah.
Never been out of the Premier League and never been out of the. David Moyes did absolutely better than Klopp, better than Guardiola to keep Everton in the Premier League. What idiots we've got! I'm telling you, what idiots we have coaching and these pundits. He's done a marvellous job. Jesus, I give him with football.
I do.
I give him with it.
The two things I remember at Moyes from is probably selling one of Everton's greatest players in recent times, Wayne Rooney. I'm like, I ain't selling him. I'm building a team around Wayne Rooney. We're Everton. And then the second thing is when he took the Sunderland job, saying that he's in a relegation battle and we're going to get relegated, I would have sacked him on the spot then. I would have. I'd have sacked him.
I don't take much notice. I never took much notice of Moyes. Not because it's probably a lovely. I don't know him, but he's probably a lovely man.
Yeah, absolutely.
The majority of them are.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about his football methods and his football ideas.
Absolutely.
Now that statement, what you've just made, the Sunderland one, he should have been sacked on spot.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What's the point in setting him on? You've got to make your players believe that you can win football matches. Yeah. So straight away the negative. The Rooney one, Moyes couldn't do anything about it. And I tell you the reason why he couldn't do anything about it. He tried to bully Rooney as a kid.
Yeah.
He tried to bully him. You're going to do it my way, you're going to do it so and so and so and so. Rooney's not the type of kid you're going to bully. Right? And he would have been tapped up. So part of that he could not have stopped. But he could have treated him differently than he treated him because there was a lot of confliction between them two.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not read Rooney's book, but what I've heard from people stating about it, he disliked David Moyes. But as you get older, you think, well, sometimes, as an 18-year-old, 17-year-old, your petulance is a little bit over the top because you're immature and all that type of thing. And we understand that. But they try and cover for certain players and then they try to belittle other players. And he come unstuck with Rooney because he was being tapped up. And so Rooney was a massive Everton supporter. If Everton had been winning trophies, he wouldn't have left Everton.
No.
He wouldn't have left Everton. And he could have built a team around him. It's the manager you've got to get in before you can start to build any team.
Yep.
The right manager.
100% TC. Our fabulous 5 this season, we've both identified 5 players. Tend to be young because with the older players, we know all about the older players, and the more familiar players, we don't really need to blow smoke up their backsides, but we're looking at some of the younger players or the players that we enjoy watching and that many people pretty much are unaware of, shall we say. So,
Yeah.
who is
Well,
your
I
Fab
mean,
Five?
I gave you 3 last week, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
You know, so Callum Roberts is obviously, they didn't get into the Football League, but I'm still going to keep him in there.
Yeah.
Because I think if he doesn't get Notts County up next season, then and I think he's going to be a main part of it. Notts County was struggling up till them signing him.
Yep.
And he got him in. I think they finished third, Notts County, second or third.
Mm-hmm.
All right, they didn't play over well in the final, what I've been told. But he did score a good goal.
Yeah,
That's one of my neighbours. He asked me if I'd seen it. I said, well, no. I said, well, I told him what I was telling you early on. I won't pay for BT and I won't watch BBC.
Mm.
So I put Fodden in because I mentioned Fodden for a while, didn't I?
Yep,
he was
absolutely.
The other one.
Yep.
And obviously, I mentioned Jack Grealish, and I'm going to stick with Jack Grealish because what everybody says, I'm sticking with because I mentioned him when he was in the second division.
Yep.
Right? And the other two, I'm going to tell you the superstar. Right? And I told you about him early part of this season, and I will give it him again because they can't hold him back for too long. Barcelona.
Yeah.
And his name is Ansu Fati Vieira.
He's a good player, isn't he?
I told you about him on one of these podcasts.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Early part of the season. He came on and I thought, woof.
Yeah.
Have I seen Messi as a 16-year-old here or not?
Yeah.
Right. And the other one is going to be at Leeds United, a kid called Jack Clark.
Good player.
I think he's going to have a massive season in the Premier League.
Mm.
Because he's got a manager what's going to allow him to go past people. He's got pace. He's got aggression. He can shift in and around the front line. He can find space. He's not going to be easily picked up because he's got a football brain. He knows when and where to run. And his final decision making is improved tremendous under Bielsa. So he's the other one. Them's my find.
Didn't he get sold to Tottenham? Didn't he go to Tottenham TC?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Is he back at Leeds now?
No, he came back, but he's gone back there. But he will get a run in this Tottenham team this season.
Yeah, got you.
Under Bielsa, what he did, he learned the game under Bielsa.
Yeah.
He came through the Leeds system.
Yep.
Right. He goes past people. I mean, they've sold him for a few quid to Tottenham.
Yeah.
But I'm saying under Bielsa, I think he's going to have a good season this year. Right? He's going to have a great season for me this year. I think he'll break into the Tottenham team.
Yeah.
He will explode. The only problem I have is Mourinho. I know he's won every trophy in the world, but him holding him back and giving him he needs more time. I think he will get a couple of games, and I think he'll break into the team and he'll explode this season. So watch for him.
Yeah, I've seen him before because he was flying at Leeds, and then he had some type of medical illness, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I looked at the boy and I thought, dear me, he looks a player. And I thought he was one of the Clark family. But he holds himself like Alan Clark. I thought, blimey, he looks like Sniffer, he does, but he isn't. But you're right, he is one to watch. So we're going to keep.
So, I mean, I could pick players what's already playing.
Yeah.
We know Fatty's at Barcelona.
Yep.
Right, but what I'm saying, this kid did it at Leeds under Bielsa.
Yeah.
Right. He didn't come back and he didn't get any games at Leeds, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is what is. I think what he did, he fetched him back for the backup in case they're having a bit of a bad time. But I'm thinking this year he's going to break into this team and he'll rip the Premier League up him.
Let's hope he does. Premier League.
Well, I've put my neck on line, so we'll see how good I am as a judge of a player.
Well, you are a great judge of a player, and my fabulous five are Callum O'Hare at Coventry City, Damari Gray at Leicester. Julian Brandt, who I'm a big fan of Julian Brandt at Borussia Dortmund, and Jude Bellingham. I'm very interested to see how Jude Bellingham develops this season because, I'm I'm not convinced that he's going to get the amount of starts that a lot of Birmingham City fans believe he will. Because let's be truthful, when he was at Birmingham, he was playing in a very, very poor side. Playing for Borussia Dortmund, he's playing for one of the best teams in Europe. That's a big, big difference. And then my
He
fifth one.
He held his own in the team.
Oh, he did, absolutely.
As a young boy.
Yeah.
This is what happens as a young kid. You'll get him for 6, 7, 8 games, 10 games. They'll leave you out. And why they leave you out is for 2 things. It is to see your temperament, see what your reaction is. Right? They'll see, are you still going to work at it? How are you going to react to being left out? Right? What they do it for is that part of it. And the other part is to see if you do bounce back. And when you bounce back, can you handle it again? And if you handle it again, then you stay in the team. And when I remember you going by me in that League Milk Cup, whatever they call it nowadays, down at Portsmouth, and he played all them kids. What did I say to you? I was very impressed. Very impressed with him. But we won't see a lot of him by being in Dortmund. We're only going to see him like the fatty kid in. But they'll show more glimpses of Barcelona games, Spain games on Sky than they do the Germans. So for me, that fatty's got more chance of being shown to the public more than what Billingham was. But the kid will definitely hold his own. He will improve, and I think he's done the best thing to go and because the Continentals, they work on the not the physical side of it, the technical side of it. So that's going to improve him even more. So he's good. Don't worry about him, Gabbie. You're going to have a kid you're going to be proud of, like you were at Trevor Francis. It's going to be a good one.
And my last choice is obviously the head boy, and that is Jack Grealish, because I just think that Jack is a different class.
Listen, brilliant against
West Ham.
West Ham, absolutely brilliant. He's been brilliant all season. But I'm just talking about the game itself. Composure.
Oh, absolutely.
What I've told you about, you can tell when a player's got composure, he's got balance, he uses the ball well. Play him, sign him, believe in him, give him the confidence. They'll have a massive input in your team.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. And I've got a little bit of grief because
if you keep signing players what you think you can trust, you'll keep going. You keep being in relegation battles. I promise you that.
Yeah, absolutely, too. So
I promise you that.
But I did get a little bit of sticker celebrating Jack's goal there against West Ham.
You deserve what stick you get.
I just like to see, especially homegrown talent, do well. And Grealish is a young brummy lad.
Why didn't you listen to me? I'm a bit older than you. I get it. I love him like you do.
Yeah.
Right? And you should never be afraid to express your opinions.
Absolutely.
But you're talking about your arch rivals. And you are rubbing it in. Don't you think the fans, what's having to go at you, wish they had him at Birmingham?
Oh, of course they do. And this is my point.
Right then.
This is my point. Appreciate the kid for the talent.
But if you're going to do what you're going to do with Jack Grealish, you've got to accept the criticism.
Oh,
but if they become abusive, then I tell you all I would. I don't give it to Sheffield Wednesday fan. Just block them.
Yeah, but that's what I do.
I mean, I don't have fans on my wall just to say I've got 5,000 fans on.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
I write on there. Yeah. And if one person writes on it, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm just giving people my opinion and how I see football. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I'm wrong. I'm just giving people my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't have to agree with it.
No, absolutely. So, but when I post something about you, they come on and tell me I'm wrong, and then I remind them whose Facebook wall it is. So
They don't. I know they do, but what I'm trying to say to you is, they are. It's not jealous because it's not. I'm trying to think of a word.
Stupid.
They want him in. They want no. They want him in. They want him in their team. They wish they had him.
Oh, of course they do. Yeah.
They wish they had him, and it bugs them. Their arch rival. Yeah. Listen, I mean, I could write about Sheffield United all day. but it's only hurting me even more, them being successful and us not being successful.
Yeah.
You know, but I've always been an admirer of Tony Curry.
Yep.
And I've been a mad admirer of Brooks. I mean, Brooks have sold now to
Bournemouth.
And it still looked a good player up to his injury at Bournemouth. So I will write good things about Sheffield United if I think that, but I wouldn't keep going on and on and on, because it's going to wind the fans up, and don't expect them not to have a good back at me. But having a good back at me and having a laugh, I don't mind.
Yeah.
But if they get really abusive and threatening and, you know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, then just block them. That way you don't see them.
Absolutely.
But there is no way that anybody should call you or stop you for praising a player that you like.
Absolutely.
Whoever he's playing for.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, TC. Sheffield Wednesday, while we've been talking about Sheffield, the points deduction by the EFL, I mean, does anybody really know what the EFL do and why they do it, and what's the rule book? Has everybody read it? Have they read their rule book? I don't know.
I'm sure I mentioned it on this programme. I've sent lots of people what send me private messages. I said, listen, this is what will happen. They won't deduct points this year. They will start off with a points deduction next season.
Yeah.
Right. We didn't know this COVID were coming in. So it's put now Wednesday in a really bad position of signing players.
Yeah.
All right, because they're starting off with a points deduction of 12. And I'm going to tell you all now. I don't know exactly, but I know there's a lot more trouble to come out of Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because it's the right people what say things to me. It's the right people what say things to me. You know, and it's not a reliable source. And I hope these are the right people what are in and around the club. And the club is in a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
Right. Will he sell? I think if he can sell, he will. Right? But with this COVID, can he sell? That's another matter for us all to debate at some point. The other thing on top of all this is where they're going to get money to sign players.
Absolutely.
What's going to happen are they going to let fans into the stadiums? This isn't the Premier League where they gain TV money.
Yeah. What
TV money they get from Sky is pittance compared to Premier League.
Yep.
So they're in big trouble. Do I like saying it? No. And I'll tell you now, all you get from fans is, well, they're not his players. They're not his, wait till he gets his players. I've seen it hundreds of times with managers coming in, getting their players. Then they sack him after 6 weeks, fetch somebody else in, get rid of them players, get some more players in. What Bielsa's done at Leeds, coaching, is a phenomenal achievement.
Yep.
And until we can get a coach what's going to believe in players, that's going to coach players, we're going to have massive problems. And it's going to be a massive problem because of what's happening at the club at this moment in time. And, you know, you get somewhat saying, Sanseri's put money into the club. Listen, there's got to be something radically wrong with them. These people with all that money get that money by doing what they do. Whatever it is, they accumulate that money by doing whatever they have to do to accumulate it.
Yep.
They're not going to throw it away.
No, 100%.
Right? So when Wigan goes bust, you never see them owners going bust, do you?
Nah. Only the club.
Right. So when Sheffield Wednesday go bust, and people say to me, how do you mean Sheffield Wednesday? Well, he will not keep putting money into it, because even when he puts money into it, he's taking more out, because it's only a loan type of thing he puts in.
Yeah.
Right? Where's he going to put money into the club when they've got no fans coming into it?
Yeah.
Because he'll only put it in if he can take more out. People don't realise it. They just look at it. Oh, it's like taking, if you got 32,000 people or 62,000 people every week, and you were getting £3.8 million, £40 a tickets, around about 3.8 million for 70,000 people, if you got that, it still wouldn't be enough. Because if you're getting that, your best players are going to be on £250,000 a week.
Yep.
Right? And if you've got 30 players, and if you average it out around about 120 a week, it's only £42 million a year, that.
You say it quickly,
you know,
it don't sound a lot of money, but it is, madam. And you look at Alexis Sanchez.
What I'm trying to say is,
yeah,
if you get Man United with £70,000,
yeah,
it's about 51.7 million quid.
Yeah.
And if you had at Sheffield Wednesday, and then your players say, if you average all your players around about £120,000 a week, that's taking 40 odd million out of it. That leaves about 7 or 8 million quid. Now you've got to pay all your staff, your gas, your electric on top of that.
Yeah. I mean, fortunately,
so you're losing money.
Yeah,
you're losing money.
Oh, of course you are.
So then you get the TV money. What's the TV
it.
money do?
Yep.
What's the TV money do? It buys the players.
Yep.
Because, by the way, I haven't spoke about out of that £51 million of buying players. You can't buy a player for £51 million. What they want to buy, Man United.
But you look at
Wednesday
Sancho.
Is in big trouble.
Yeah.
Wednesday, I repeat it, is in big trouble. I hate it. What I'm saying. I gave up my career to help that club.
Yeah, I know.
And they put it back, eat shit. And you're not trying to see it. They put it back, eat shit.
But isn't all of football in the mire? I mean, when you looked at, you look at Manchester United. They're after Jadon Sancho, talking of something like £100 million to get him from Dortmund. Arsenal are spending dough. That looks like they brought Willian in, I think, on a free. Well, it will be on a free, but £100,000. They're looking to give Aubameyang £100,000 a week as well. And then they're making 55 backroom staff redundant. We're looking at Droylsden are going to have to pull out the Football League. You look at Sanchez. I mean, apparently someone's done the maths. It's about £28,000 a touch. Football has done some really stupid things over the last generation, and it isn't a surprise that football's in the shit because they've been run by idiots.
Well, you've hit the nail on the head with the last bit. The last bit, run by idiots.
Yeah.
Right. I'll come back onto that 50 odd people going redundant. Right. Man United, if they're already £500 million in debt.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
In debt.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. But the service.
It's a football club. What's been bought, we bought it
on debt. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So, anybody wants to talk to me about football? They're not talking. Listen, they're not talking to an idiot when they talk to me about football. They might be English and maths. They can do it. They can take the piss as much as they want. But every football, this is the proper football brain I've got. Right, so they're 500 million, but they can do that because it's a sellable asset. Is Manchester United?
Yep,
and it's a global asset.
Yep,
right, and there is ways to get out of that, but Glazers are taking a big vast amount of money out of that wages for themselves.
Yeah, of course they are,
and so that's why it never really gets down the debt. Right, Arsenal got rid of 50 odd staff. Right. And the staff that they got rid of is scouts and what have you. Right. So why do you want all them? Listen, what I'm trying to say is, I'm watching a game on television. Right. Was it Fulham? And they've got a guy with a laptop or an iPad doing corner kicks. Right. They're paying him to do that. Do people still score from corner kicks? Of course they do. And let me tell you about they're not idiots, they just don't understand the game.
Yeah.
I don't want to call them idiots, they don't understand the game. Let me tell you, there's two things why they score from a corner kick. Right? And it is this. The quality of the ball into that box. If it's a quality ball into that box, and the timing is right from the person what connects to score the goal, and we're not talking about a poxy goal. I'm talking about the reason why people score from corners is it's not bad defending. They'll call me an idiot. It's them what's not them. I don't call them idiots. They don't understand the game. They can call me an idiot as much as they want. Yeah. They do not understand the game. They'll say, right, if the coaches tell them to go zonal marking, that's giving a player a chance to run.
Yeah.
Right? All they're doing is marking a zone.
Yeah.
And if that ball's played into that zone, right, 9 times out of 10 they will clear it. But if the quality of the ball's put into the right area with the striker or the centre half or the midfield player, or whatever it is, times that ball right, they will score a goal.
Yep.
8 times out of 10. And there's not that many corners, so they're paying for that man to be doing that work on that. And I'm thinking to myself, when that came up today, and I'm listening to about 52 people getting sacked, who do they need to get a player through to a football club? Do they need scouts, or do they need agents? What's the most important thing of the two, the scout or the agent?
If I was going to be pressed, I think they're both really important, but the agent is the one that's going to bring the player
the agent
now.
Is the most important
for a player to be ready for Arsenal. A scout is one of them that picks up and brings the kids through, and you work on your academy and you're hoping that some of them come through. So I get all that.
The agent is the most important.
I get all that,
because when they're signing a player, the scout is not going to get him to Arsenal.
No.
They can recommend him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And who are they looking at nowadays? Especially what they're looking at nowadays, they don't give them time to now with this COVID, kids might get a bit more chance because they'll not want to pay the wages. And again, people look at me. So what's he talking? I tell you what I'm talking about. When you're signing a player, the scout's nobody, because it's the agent. If that agent turns around and says, no, he's not going to Man United, he's going to go to Dortmund, is Haaland. And where did Haaland go?
Dortmund. Yep.
Dortmund. The agent's the most important person with that player who you want to sign.
Yeah.
Right? Look at the players that the agent brought in to Wolves. The agent, not the scouts.
No, Jorge Mendes, yeah.
Them days are going to be gone. Listen to me. Again, I tell everybody about to be a £10 million footballer, but they're all called me an idiot. Right? And it's multi-million-pound players now. I'm telling you, the scouting days have gone. And let me tell you something. Do you know how many times a scout will go watch a player? About 10 times away from home, and about 6 or 7 at home.
Yeah.
And he still don't make up his mind. They still don't make up. Well, so they say, well, we're going to sign him. How many times do you hear that? I was going to sign him. I listened to it on radio today about Henderson. It'll come to me there. Whoever the academy manager was, he went home that night and he was 3 players who he was going to sign. Well, it was one of the 3, and as it happens, it turned out to be Henderson. And then I told you about Henderson, right? And this is follow. They never mentioned that. I'm sure they did, because if they did, I didn't hear that part. Because I told Thomas about this. They tried to sell him to Fulham.
Yeah. In
a part exchange deal with Dempsey. More money and Dempsey, right, to Fulham. Or Fulham would have to give Liverpool more money, and then they were going to take Dempsey.
Yeah.
Right? So half the time it's luck with people. But I'm telling you, scouts are going to fall out by the wayside. I'm telling you.
I think that
because
with Arsenal,
everything's done on what they call it. Arsenal's the beginning.
Yeah, but I don't think they were just scouts. I think they were backroom staff. I think they were marketing people. I think there were people in administration that were working there at the football club.
Oh well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think it was more than. My understanding was it was more than scouts. Sorry.
They used like a scouting term. It didn't use a scout. But they used it like a scouting term when they said it. They made 52 people redundant. I forgot what word they used. Right? But it was like working in and around the players. Now, if you're talking about what you've just been talking about, then, that's all wrong. That's all wrong, because they do make enough money to have the right people in the job that they can. I mean, Arsenal, even Man United, they still need that guy to go out there and sell the club.
Yeah, of course they do.
It's easier to sell the club when it's a Man United and Arsenal, but you still need that guy to go and knock on a door to pick up a phone, don't you? So if they're getting that type of person, then I think that's a bit silly.
Yeah,
but they must know what they're doing or why they're doing it.
Well, again, I think
you wouldn't keep people for sake of keeping people, Gabbie.
Well, no,
in a business.
You wouldn't, but they do seem to be streamlining some staff and then spending a lot of money on their first team. But the way football is going, and your analogy there with the scout and the agent was a brilliant analogy, because in the modern age of Premier League football, it's all about the now, and the manager, whoever that manager is, tends to get not many games. So you can understand where football clubs are going, and where football clubs will go to in the future, God only knows, because I think it's a changing landscape.
The scouts, let me tell you something. Forget scouts going to watch in England, because they've got all the technology. They see them every day now on television.
Yeah.
So can see. So the scouts will. The only way the scouts are going to be important to football clubs is the youth teams. So Arsenal going to watch at Grimsby just seems to got one special player, right? So you'll see Everton will go to Leeds, buy one of their top players, or Arsenal, Man City will go to Leeds and buy that top player out of. That's the only thing now with your scouts will, because the rest of it, they'll get rid of it. Yeah. The only other part, even on the continent, I mean, they'll send people over on the continent, but even that now is becoming too expensive. They've got all the technology.
Yeah.
They can watch Dortmund, they can watch whoever they want to watch in Germany, whoever they want to watch in Spain, on a TV monitor now.
Yeah, of course, can.
Or an iPad.
Yeah.
So what do they want scouts for? I'm telling you, scouts are going to fall by the wayside. The only way where they're going to use the scouts, right? It'll eventually go down to the academies. Now, I'm going to tell you now about the academies. You know, the lower leagues.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them will fade by the wayside. I really do, because of this COVID thing. Right? They're not going to be able to afford to pay these people to run these academies. Right? And I think what they'll do, they'll have development type of things where kids will pay to go into that development, and the parents are paying, right, to be at Doncaster Rovers, to play at Grimsby, right? And they're not playing on a Sunday morning with parents what's reffing and blinding.
Yep.
And I think, you watch, this will happen. I
think football is going to change dramatically, TC, with all that's gone on. I think it's going to be unrecognisable.
Don't think the money's going to change in the Premier League.
No, the money is
going to get bigger.
Yeah, at the top end, nothing will change.
Amazon,
yeah, absolutely.
Google and all these will get into that.
Of course, it will.
And it will become, well, it's global now.
Yeah.
But if we've got Martians, they'll be selling it to Martians.
They would do, yeah, because at the top end, there will always be that market for people to watch it. The problem with football is out of the Premier League, and if they can't get fans coming into the ground next season, you can see a lot more football clubs go into the wall. I do fear for football going forward. I also fear for us.
This could be a reason. This could be not just football. This could be a reason all this COVID's about.
It could be, yeah.
Because it's not just football.
No, it's
There's
everything.
A lot of people lost their jobs.
Globally,
Why? Why? You know, a really bad flu. Because guys, what all these people will keep saying to me, oh, I know somebody what's died, he's died. We all know somebody what's died. I know somebody close to me what's died.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't close the economy down for a bad flu, and there's more people die from a flu. There's more to this than meets the eye, and it's not just football what's going to change, right? That's why I hope Trump wins, because there's a lot of corruption here.
Oh, there's immense amount of corruption globally.
It's going to change. The world's going to change.
I think the world is changing as we look out of our windows and watch it. We can't see it, but it is changing.
All right, listen. They've tried to do. They've been corrupt. There's a lot of these people being corrupt. And I've told you before, Trump's not a politician. He's been put there by somebody. And is it the army? Because they knew what these corrupt people were doing, and they wanted somebody what was strong. Right? There's a lot of jobs lost. The world's going to change, but it probably will change for the better if Trump gets in. If they get in, it'll change for the worse. I'll tell you that now. But people, listen, I ain't got that brain, but I've got common sense, Gabbie. I can see what's happening here. I can see what's happening.
TC, what is happening here in this house is the wife is firing up that vacuum. She's firing up. She's like a coiled spring chomping at the bit. But it is your turn to pick the music. So what are you going to play us out with this week, TC?
So it's my turn to pick the music.
It certainly is. I picked it last week, yeah. So you can pick any record that you want.
Well, I'm going to pick one what I used to... when I was 16 or 17, before I went playing football, when I used to go into youth clubs and just started sneaking into nightclubs, and it's Sitting at the Dock of the Bay.
Great song.
I used to love one of that. I used to love that song.
Otis Redding.
Yes.
Fantastic, TC. Love to you and yours. We're going to be, well, you ain't got BT, but I have, so I'm going to be watching Wolverhampton Wanderers. They're playing Olympiacos in the second.
Great footballing team.
Yeah.
Great manager. Love to watch him play.
And then next week we've got Europa League and Champions League as well. So next couple of weeks is going to be great for football, and we're going to have an awful lot to talk about as well.
I'm going to have a look on YouTube for the magic moments because I'm not paying for them. BBC no more. I'm not paying my license, and they come look at me door, and I say, "Yeah, I haven't got one. Fine, mate. I'll pay £1 a week. Take me to court. I will. You'll think I'm kidding. When I make up my mind to do it, I'll do it. And I'm not paying. I am not paying for a license for a corrupt organisation like the BBC."
On that note, TC. We will reconvene next week. And guys, thanks for listening. We're going to go with Otis Redding, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay.
Good night. My love to your family, and thanks everybody. And I hope you enjoy this podcast, what we do, me and Gabbie. And I love doing it with Gabbie. So thank you all for listening.
Top man, TC. Hey.